Mikekingbiz, the premier business media brand covering and connecting Central Virginia. It's home to Mikekingbiz Radio, producer of On the Mic with Mike RVA, which airs on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, The Choice 105.3 FM, and worldwide on IBGR.network. Follow Mikekingbiz for the best business-ish content in our...
All right, we are here with Biz Excellence and hashtag Sarah Be The Coach. And today we want to talk to you a little bit about emotions in business and where they belong.
Not all over the place.
Not all over the place.
They need to be controlled.
They should be controlled. And I actually recommend people to pull their emotions out of the business. Learn when to process, like what's happening and what's being said, and then to respond to it versus to react to it. Does that make sense?
That does make sense because sometimes people get a little too excited.
Yes, you can get too excited, and emotions can be either good or bad.
Yes.
So you can be really excited, and then you make decisions, and then later you're like, I may have overshot myself.
That is true. And next thing you know,
you can have emotions. And so one of the things that I wrote on one of my recent posts was, you don't want to have regrets. So regrets don't belong here. So in order to not have regrets, you have to be able to control your emotions, because if not, later on, you're going to be like, I wish I hadn't have said that. I wish I hadn't have done that. One of the most common ones that I find is in industries where we work with clients, and maybe a client did something that you absolutely hated. And then what do people do? They go to social media. Oh, I hate when clients do this. Don't be late. And what it actually does is it shows that you have not yet controlled that area of your business. So, so it's really giving the wrong impersonation.
Because I was derelict in letting you know the expectations, I was upset when you showed up late.
Yeah, I was upset when you showed up late. So now I told all of my clients that somebody showed up late today. And one, it offends that person.
Because I know who I was.
Yes.
I knew that I was late.
And it makes all of your other clients go, well, what do they do when I make a mistake that wasn't intentional? So it's now a reflection of your business, not that person, because guess what? Nobody on social media even knows who that was.
They just know that's how you conduct business.
They know that that's how you conduct business, and they know that you're emotional. And I used to joke with some of my employees a long time ago, and I would say, if you and I got into a fist fight, where would you hit me?
In the face.
In the face, okay. So if you and I got into a fist fight, but you saw that I had a wound in my hip, where would you hit me?
What? On the hip.
Exactly. So when you set up and you tell people what your weakness is, you actually attract that weakness. And this is why I do both life and business coaching, because a lot of the things that I talk about in business, if you apply it to your personal life, it would save you a huge headache in your personal life, which therefore would allow you to run your business fine-tuned.
A fighter, and a dreamer, and full-time making ends meter. Early riser with a nudge. A high school struggler, and now college achiever surrounded by believers. Quick learner and little timer. But I'll make the time. And with my degree, I will give of my time. What's your and?
When I first walked through the doors, it was just kind of like a chance conversation. I was having a chance conversation with someone, and they mentioned Bryan and Stratton. And I said, well, what's the process? How do I do it? They told me the process. I came in, and that's exactly what it was. I don't want to say they held my hand, but they didn't let me go. And that's the one thing that I love about this school. They don't let you go. If they feel like you're having an issue, that's exactly what this ampersand is about. They want to incorporate.
Oh, really?
Yes, the and in your life.
That's why the commercials say, what's your?
Exactly, right. What's your and? So my and was, okay, I'm busy with, my family. And, I also had other things going on with my other career right now. I put those things way off to the side. But at that time, I was a little busy with those things, but they never let me go, So that's what I really, really appreciate about Bryan and Stratton, is that they helped me get to the finish line.
The Women's Business Center of Richmond, located on the campus of Virginia Union University, will be hosting its second annual Winning with Women Entrepreneurs Conference on April 28th at the illustrious Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens. In addition to the Entrepreneurs Awards Luncheon, the program will present compelling keynotes from multi-million-dollar businesses, along with regulatory and policy giants. Area businesses, small and large, will not want to miss this event. For early bird registration or to become an event sponsor, presenter, or awards nominee, visit winningwithwomen.org.
2 years ago, I was inspired one part by my professor who wanted us to come up with an idea to build this community based around something. And then the other part actually was Panera's Pay What You Can restaurants. They used to have these restaurants where customers could pay what they could for their meals, but eventually they had to shut it down because, you know, they were losing money and they just couldn't break even. But I was really inspired by that idea and wanting to make kind of a small difference in the amount of like millions of clothings that Americans like throw away every year that just go to landfills. And then also finding a creative way to share various nonprofits' missions because, you know, they're all so important and they don't always have the resources to communicate their missions and everything that's going on within their organization.
Okay, so now the way the program works, you just can't put out something. You got to drop a name. So your professor put out an idea. You thought it was great.
Yeah.
We got to show some love to your professor. Who was it?
Yeah. My professor was Judy Crenshaw. She's I hope that a lot of people know that name. She was the PRSA Richmond chapter. She's amazing.
Okay. And what was it about her message that inspired you, that you guys went down that road about seeing how you could make a difference?
Yeah, it was really just about building a community based around like a specific interest. And I've always had like a big interest in nonprofits. So that's kind of where that conversation went. But I never did that for that class. I did this later. Actually, last summer, I started it in June 2020 because, you know, a lot of my internship opportunities had kind of gone away because of the pandemic and I was in quarantine and I was like, you know what, this is a huge passion of mine. I'm going to start it. So that's when I actually started it.
Okay, people live a lot parts of their life. They want to do something. They had an idea and it just sits there.
Yeah.
How do you take that idea that you had in the middle of a pandemic and create a movement?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really have to say I owe that a lot to my like circle of friends. They were all really supportive of the idea and they all like kind of volunteered. Oh, I know people who will give you clothes. Oh, I know, I'll model for you. So it was really a big group effort that allowed that to kind of happen and come to life.
Welcome to Miss Gurley's. Conveniently located at 4809 Parker Street in the heart of Fulton. We take food back to the basics, just like our grandmother used to do it, the way we've always done it. So grab your family, grab your friends, and come taste a little bit of home.
Let's talk about the evolution of the party pants. So I got one good question per show, and this is it.
This is it.
Okay, so
Maxed out at one.
I got it. At this age, I'm good to get the one.
Yeah.
So what was the idea for the party pants, and when did they make its debut?
So actually, we're having a Party Pants bobblehead giveaway later on this summer. So we were just recounting that because I guess Caroline Phipps, our promotional director, put it on the giveaway box that's being manufactured right now. But we think it was back 2011, 2012. I was walking through the office and it was the middle of the summer and people were kind of burned out, right? People were kind of stagnant. Sure. People were kind of second half. And I was like, what can I do to get these people, you know, something different, right? And so John Daly has this company.
I know John.
Called Loudmouth Golf. And I ordered some pants and Ironically, now JD and I have become very good friends. There's pictures of us here together on the walls of Parney's Pub, and I wore them at a game, and people loved them. Fans loved them. Our staff loved them. The players loved them. Everybody loved them. The next night, I wore regular pants, and a fan came up to me and said,
What happened?
"I was here last night. Why aren't you trying as hard tonight as you were last night?"
Fighting words.
And I went,
You
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
You got it.
And I went, okay, this might be something. So
Right.
then it went to getting more pants and wearing them just for games. Then that went to putting them on in the morning on game days. And then that went to wearing them if we have a game, if we don't have a game. And that went to anytime I leave the house, basically, I have to have these pants on, because if somebody sees me without the pants, they're disappointed. And it's fun. It's uplifting. People enjoy it. I don't care, because if people think I'm weird, if people think I'm silly, because other people get enjoyment out of it. And that's the key.
Yes.
I don't care what people think about me. I care the fact that they think it's fun, and it livens up the room. It just makes everything better. So I wear them all the time. Now the problem comes if I have to go, which happened recently, I have to go to a funeral or something. They're probably not appropriate at a funeral, right?
But that's how you're known.
So I went to Detroit for my friend's father's funeral, and I told him, like, hey, I got to stop at a store in Detroit because I don't have any regular
I gotta get
pants.
so.
And he goes, well, I'll tell you where to go, but when you come to the funeral home, I want you to wear the party pants,
Nice.
because that'll really
Yes.
that'll make people smile. We need to smile right now. So I think that's a good story about how they've transcended all kinds of things. And it's definitely part of not only the Squirrels brand, but my own personal brand. And it's one of the things that, you know now when you come to the Diamond, you're going to see some goofy
What to
looking
expect.
pants.
Okay.
What I would suggest.
So how much of this is education, and people kind of look at you like, come on, man, how does that work? And does it work?
Yeah. So we get a lot of pushback from people saying, oh, this isn't for everybody. Oh, by the time you need one, you should go to the hospital. And I highly disagree. There's so many people out there who are just chronically dehydrated, who are ill, who are recovering from surgery, who just don't intake enough water throughout their business day. This is a great opportunity for them to set aside time for themselves, but really help their body function. There are numerous studies that show dehydration affects cognitive performance, physical performance, recovery, your immune system, and replacing that fluid with an IV and getting those extra vitamins into your system is going to give you an immediate boost to your energy, to your mental clarity. It's going to help, just your body function. And, everyone's a little bit different, so the effects last a little bit different for everyone. But, time after time, what's the first thing that happens when you go to the hospital? If you're dehydrated, they give you fluid.
That's for sure.
It just works.
So the idea of it, you're giving people fluid at a time that they need it, but it's not in the hospital setting.
Exactly.
You're still doing the same. They're still doing the same thing. You're still getting the same benefit.
Exactly. And we purposely wanted to get away from the medical aesthetic, just because it's not fun. It's oppressive. It feels, it's not relaxing. And so we wanted to provide a space for our community to come in, really relax and take care of themselves and not have to worry about the beeping and other people, who are coming in crisis. we wanted a place for people to relax, enjoy themselves, really have, be in a cool environment where they can see other people who are coming in to take care of themselves and really kind of build that camaraderie.
6 months you guys have been open. You knew you had something the first day. So let's backtrack from when so the Drip Bar is a franchise.
Yes, it is.
So for a person who's out there wondering the benefits of you starting a business, give the person the idea of how to find a good franchise and what it was like for you guys to land on the Drip Bar.
Yeah, so franchising was an interesting opportunity for us. It's usually not people's first foray into business. We were looking at it, we had saved up a little bit of money, and we wanted to have a team at our back for venturing into an industry that we were very new to. But they provided a lot of assurances. They have a pharmacy team that's helping direct how we formulate all the bags. We have a medical director who can answer any of our medical questions and gives us our medical orders to be able to administer. We have competent and very skilled nurses on our staff who have helped us, develop our layout and make sure things are running smoothly. And that team was super important to find. We looked at several different franchises, and none of them really clicked with us. A lot of it was just sales. A lot of it was just something that didn't feel quite right for us. And so when we started looking at wellness franchises, specifically, we looked at a couple different ones that were for stretching, yoga, kickboxing. And we knew we wanted to be in that wellness space to kind of help people and help our community and kind of give back and really support our healthy lifestyles. And so we worked with 2 or 3 different franchise consultants. Some just were not finding, the businesses that we were interested in. And then we stumbled upon one who really did kind of understand us and what we were looking for. And when they suggested this one, we knew it was a unique opportunity for the area because we didn't really see any around here that were, at least visible. And, it was a product that had a simple goal, is to get you hydrated, to provide you with vitamin infusions to help boost your immune system, to help you, just live every day and at an affordable price. When you go to a doctor or a hospital, you can get charged an arm and a leg. We don't work with insurance at the Drip Bar. It is out of pocket, but it's at an affordable rate. And it's so working with the franchise consultant really helped us, narrow down what we wanted to find. Once we did find it, we immediately did research on who else was providing, the competition in other states, the competition around us. We definitely had to do our due diligence because, like I said, it's an industry we were not familiar with. So we tried out some of the other places. We talked to them, see if they were interested in franchising. And it was surprising to see how many people just skipped over Richmond and they were wanting to go to bigger cities. And like you said earlier, only a fool would think that there's no money.
There's no money in Richmond.
Exactly. And so we knew we had an opportunity here to really, grow our business and explore this market. And so after talking to them and, deciding, all right, I think the Drip Bar is what we want to do, we went to their annual conference. We met the entire team. We met the CEOs, the doctors, pharmacists, the HR people, everyone. Shook their hands, sat down, had meals with them. And we knew we had a winning team.
Used to make do, and now I'm making a name for myself and my family. I've got no room for discouragement, only encouragement. And I'm being taught business like it's nobody's business. At home and in class. And hold the door, please, because this elevator's going straight up. What's your and?
welcome back on the Mike's premier business radio program around. I'm here with Rashida and Melanie from the Jackson Ward Collective. Shout out to their partner out there, Kelly Lemon, you guys making big things happen. All righty, so I'm just a humble public servant. I hear the scuttlebutt in the street. The JWC got some really big. You guys are pulling in some names. All righty, let's start there, and then we're going to get into it, exactly what it is. How did the idea come for that to happen?
Brainstorming and dreaming.
Dreaming big.
Dreaming big. We always dream big.
Why dream small?
Hey.
Might as well go for it. All right. And what's the name of the event?
So it's the Black Street Conference. It's actually inaugural. It will be an annual conference, positioned as a national conference. It takes place Monday, August 8th here in Richmond, Virginia. The goal is to bring Black entrepreneurs from around the country into Richmond, again, the home of a former Black Wall Street community, so that they can learn about the history of Jackson Ward, while also learning alongside other aspiring and current entrepreneurs. We have 40 speakers that are participating, coming in from all over the country.
You guys got some big names too.
Listen,
We do.
it is quite exciting. You know, the whole point is to be able to encourage, like if there's someone that's kind of on the fence about entrepreneurship and want to kind of get a sneak peek into what the life of an entrepreneur consists of, it's good for them. Someone that's been in business for a couple of years, come on out. Someone that's looking to, you know, we have a session called succession planning. We as Black entrepreneurs don't talk about that largely. And so it may be the person that's looking to sell their business or just figure out what that looks like to wind down their business. We are taking a very holistic approach in terms of what our panel sessions are about. It's not going to be your run-of-the-mill conference. First of all, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have folks that the public locally may be familiar with seeing in certain spaces, but not having the opportunity to hear from them as an entrepreneur. And it makes me think about our final session, Death to Grind culture. You know, we as Black folks, we tend to work ourselves to the bone, right? And sometimes at a detriment to our health, right? And so we are going to present opportunities for folks to hear from DJ Lyman B, who obviously everyone knows is a heavy hitter, right? And so you see him behind the turntables all the time, but now he comes from behind the turntable and really talks about his journey as an entrepreneur. And then LaTonya Coakley, who is the CEO of Adjourn Tea. She's Maryland-based, but she's a native of Richmond, incredibly excited to come home. It's also being moderated by a hometown guy, Arande Creighton, and so it's going to be a lot of fun having the opportunity to connect with everyone. I want to say this because Rashida's probably looking at me like, are you going to talk about the tracks? So we have 3 tracks for participants. So when you register to be attendee at the conference, your registration includes a pre-conference experience at a Sunday evening at a location that will be provided at time of registration.
So just you can't be showing up like
You can't show up.
I heard there's a party going
You gotta
on.
be in the house.
You gotta be in the house
With a ticket.
With a ticket.
Exactly. Okay.
And then it also includes your day of conference experience, several sessions. We have 3 tracks, again, so that we can appeal to every type of person, again, aspiring, existing, and maybe someone looking to scale or shut down, close out their business. And then we have a post-conference wrap-up at another local venue, JWC member business. And so you make an investment in yourself as a current entrepreneur, make an investment in yourself as someone that's considering maybe growing their side hustle, or even just considering a different path professionally.
And we can't forget our keynotes.
Oh my goodness.
So we have our keynotes, Kirsten and Julian Saunders, also known as Rich and Regular out of Atlanta. They're coming to Richmond as part of the final stop on their Cashing Out tour, which is their new book. The cool thing is, and why we're excited about them as a keynote, is their book is really about the process of, like, it speaks to the people who work in a corporation or something like that and want to ease out into entrepreneurship, and it gives them a really good blueprint for doing that. So we're honored that they're going to be in Richmond on that Sunday during their book signing and book bar, another JWC member.
Shout out to Book Bar.
Come on,
yeah,
now.
I'm going to broadcast from there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so Crystal came in here, you know, she had a hat broken down. Like, she's stylish, you know. I saw a thing where, and see, like I said, once again, about reading people's social media. She's like, she's reading a book that you're scared. You can't read the book at night.
Yes, I think we talked about that. Yes.
It's like, no, I ain't reading that.
No,
and that's the power of books. When you guys show up and go to a business, something happens.
Yeah.
Because you validate them that something big. I mean, it's a bookstore.
Yeah.
Magic happens in a bookstore, but sometimes people just walk by, and especially next to new generation, that if it's not in the phone, like my grandkids, if it ain't in the phone, it ain't happening. Well, you know that.
No.
You know?
And she has a whole experience when you go in there.
Yeah.
So we're excited that they're going to bring that there. And then they're going to do a dinner experience over at Lily Pearl later that evening. So you can go on their website to get their tickets.
Yeah.
Mike,
Lindsay
another
doing
JWC member.
Mike Lindsay doing stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
when you talk
Killing
about
the
big
game.
things, he is killing it.
Super
6
proud of her.
restaurants in
I
2
know.
years. One
Over-
more coming.
That Hatch Local, we go killing them chicken tenders. Straight up. So shout out to Mike Lindsay and all of the great things that he's just doing. Really.
I decided to get into real estate because I wanted to be able to provide a legacy for my family and also be able to be there as my children grow up. I am able to now provide flexibility within my schedule and also be present for my clients. My name is Nicole Reed with Nicole Reed Real Estate and Associates, and I help individuals and businesses buy, sell, and invest in real estate. We believe that everybody deserves to build a legacy for their family and build generational wealth, and we believe that it can be done through real estate. Being in the top 1% in the state of Virginia of realtors and 5% nationally, my clients can rest assured that they have someone that is educated and very diverse within the marketplace. We want to make sure that we're looking and paying attention to every single detail when it comes to the transaction process and make sure that they feel comfortable and secure about making a decision, whether they're buying a home or selling a home. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, whether it's in Virginia or any state in between, make sure you call Nicole Reed Real Estate and Associates. Real estate redefined.
Mikekingbiz, on the mic with Mike, Richmond's premier business radio platform.
Making moves. Judging how you judge it, say we going corporate. Nah, we just corner boys with the corner office. I'm at the cap table, what the splits is. Not that cap table, boy, we live this.